Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to take a look at the product development process as it relates to the marketing concept. Now, if you remember back to Unit 1, the marketing concept is the idea that we need to take into consideration both the consumer and the competitive environment. And so when we look at the product development process, we are going to try and take this into account. So, please get out your pens and paper, follow the STORM philosophy for note-taking, and sit back and enjoy. So a quick overview. Today we're going to take a look at those connections that this video, this concept, this idea has to the 4 Ps. Then we will move on to the analytical tools, and we'll take a look at the product mapping, market opportunity analysis or MOA, and benefit analysis. So before we can connect it to product, we need to look at the product development process again and refresh this. So idea generation is the first step of this product development process. We then move into idea screening, concept development, market strategy, and then we perform a feasibility study. We refresh and modify the product and do the product design. We test market it, and then we enter the market. So today we are going to take a look at idea screening, because at this stage, this is where we need to take into consideration what consumers want, as well as what the competitive environment is like. So if we must consider both the consumer and competition, how do we consider this? How do we get this information? Now, we've looked at marketing research, and so this is going to lightly touch on that idea of marketing research, but this is the functions that need to be performed during product development. So to do this, to properly study the consumers and competition's place in the development process, so we need to consider what's going on out there in the market. We will use product mapping, marketing opportunity analysis, and benefit analysis. So the first tool is the product mapping. This identifies what's already out there in the market. It identifies what consumers like and dislike about existing products. It identifies what is missing from the market. So think about idea screening. In order to screen your idea, you really need to consider what's out there. You need to consider what consumers like and dislike. So to do this product mapping exercise, you need to group products according to a category and fill in those groups. For example, for confectionery items, it might be sweet versus salty. For cars, it might be expensive versus cheap. For foods, it might be healthy versus unhealthy. For activities, boring versus fun. For any product, it might be high quality versus low quality. So let's take a look. So when you product map a category, it's all about placing products on an axis. For example, expensive versus inexpensive cars. From Kia to Ferrari, you place various car products on this axis. For unhealthy versus healthy snack foods, again, you place products on the axes. So it could be specific brands, it might be specific types of products. It might also be that you need to place these products on 2 axes, from high quality to low quality, from high price to low price. And you have various chocolate bar brands that are found. So products can be high quality and high price, or low quality and low price. It would be rare to have a low quality product with a high price. That would indicate a not very well thought out marketing strategy. Market opportunity analysis, or MOA, identifies the various opportunities or market situations for a specific brand. This is known as a situational analysis. It attempts to identify where a void exists so that companies and products can fill that void and hopefully earn quite a lot of money. There are 3 parts to this. Part 1 is the overall market, Part 2 is indirect competition, and Part 3 is the direct competition. So let's take a look. So the first part is to identify the overall market. So you start by identifying a category, a very broad category. For example, if you are going to create a new chocolate bar, you would identify a very broad category such as snack foods. You would then identify all the products that make up that market. From chips to chocolate to popcorn to peanuts to crackers to vegetables to granola bars, all these are very general terms used for snack foods. And so since you are a chocolate bar manufacturer and you hope to sell your product, a chocolate bar, on the market, you first have to identify this overall market that you'll compete with. So the next step is to identify all the indirect competitors. Again, snack foods, there are many different types of snack foods, from chips to chocolate bars to granola bars. The next step is to identify each brand that exists within those various types of snack foods. For example, chocolate bars are likely competition for chips, but they are different. So therefore, you'll need to identify all the different brands of chips, and all the different brands of chocolate bars, and all the different brands of granola bars, and popcorn, and various other snack foods that exist. So this is where you're classifying the various competitive brands. By doing this, you're going to see if there are market opportunities that exist. Does granola bars only have one or two brands? Does chocolate bars only have a couple? Does chips have a ton, and therefore you're going to avoid that type of snack food? This will illustrate the gaps that exist out there. And lastly, part 3 is really about breaking it down to very specific features. These are your direct competitors. In this step, you're going to identify all the products that directly compete. So these products have the same features. Again, if I'm going to create a chocolate bar that has caramel inside of it, I need to identify all those chocolate bars that have that very same feature. Are there any gaps in this chocolate bar category? Is there room for me to create another product and sell it in that category? By completing this step, you will identify whether or not there is a gap, and therefore should you or should you not sell that product. As well, in this step, you need to identify the market potential. How many potential buyers are out there? What's the average price of products that are out there? And how many products are purchased on average per year? This is a very simple equation. The market potential, MP, is calculated by the N, number of possible buyers, the P, purchase price, and Q, average number of purchases per year. So, example is that 50 million Canadians buy chocolate bars 10 times per year, and the average price of a chocolate bar is $1. Therefore, the market potential for chocolate bars in Canada would be $150 million. At this point in time, you can identify whether or not it's a sizable enough market to enter, or maybe not. Remember, it's all about how much profit can be gained. If there's not enough profit to be gained, there's no point entering that market. Unless, of course, you're offering a service that is not for profit. That would be different. And lastly is the benefit analysis. Now this really pertains to the consumers. It pertains to consumers because it's about identifying what features they truly value, how much they're willing to pay for these features. In this case, it's all about the utility, and hence why we looked at utility prior to this video. The data that we use and gather in this step and using this tool, we can then use in a cost-benefit analysis. Maybe it's going to cost a lot to add caramel to our chocolate bar, and consumers are not willing to pay extra for that. Therefore, it would not be worthwhile to create this product. Not every feature adds value in the minds of consumers, and therefore you really need to look at whether or not it's worth it to add those features to your product. And by performing a benefit analysis, you will be able to. So this brings us to our end of the video, and again, this is all about idea screening and what tools we can use to really screen our idea. So it's not just about throwing the idea out there to a couple of friends, it's about really doing some serious fact checking and analysis. So what types of information can be obtained from product mapping? How would marketers know by using an MOA to develop a chocolate bar with caramel in it, if there were caramel-filled chocolate bars already on the market? By answering these questions, you'll be able to truly understand these tools and this stage idea screening of the product development process. So, make sure your notes are in order, you've summarized them, and you've added your own discussion questions. And that's it, that's all, that's everything. We'll see you tomorrow.